please pull up the front row sections first, please? I wonder if you can, once you're in the room, please pull up the front row sections first. Thank you very much. Keeping forward, once you're in the room, team. Keeping forward. Thank you so much, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let me start by making sure you're all here in the right room for the right reason. You'd be surprised. Raise your hand if you're here because you want to learn to master social media. Raise your hand if that's why you're here. By the way, if you don't raise your hand to that, we've got a real problem. You know, maybe is this that seminar? Not sure. Raise your hand again if you don't just want to master social media. You want to do it in a way where it gives you more income and or more free time. Raise your hand if you like all of that's happened, preferably last week. Some of you laughing at my bad jokes already, some of you not so much. Raise your hand if you're not going to raise your hand all day. Thank you for those of you that laugh. I'm just trying to have if we're going to be here, let's have some fun, right? So we'll be very serious this morning. Look, I don't know where you're at right now, but perhaps right now you are at a place where you haven't mastered social media. I'm kind of guessing that, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? Maybe right now you don't have the time that you want. Maybe you don't have the income that you want. Maybe you see other people succeeding with social media, and maybe you're wondering, what is it that they know that you don't yet know? Well, picture this. Imagine, fast forward a few months, imagine that you've absolutely nailed and mastered social media. Picture this. You've mastered social media now so well that it's become kind of like a tap in your kitchen. When you want more leads, you turn the tap on. When you don't need any more, you turn the tap off. Picture this. You've mastered social media so well, it's now made you the number one in your industry and space. When I say running shoe, what do you generally think of, team? That was the participation part of the seminar. What do you think of, team? Thank you. It's not school, right? You don't have to stay quiet. You can talk to me, right? Nike. So you become the first person, business or brand that people think of in your industry and space. Over here is a place where now you've got the income that you want, the time that you want, and over here is the place where you're now living the life that you know you truly freaking deserve. So, if what you're saying, Miles, is right now on some version of over there, and where I want to be is some version of what you said over there, would you all agree, team, maybe, perhaps, maybe, we need a new strategy or vehicle, maybe, to go from there to there? Yes or no, team? Yes! Just so you know, that was also the audience participation part of the seminar. It's interesting, right? You've all apparently come to an event today which is all about standing out. Yeah, your natural default is to blend in. But isn't that kind of why you came, because you want to stand out? Yes or no, Tim? Yes. Even that was pretty muted, right? Okay, we'll talk about that. Here's what I'm going to say about today, team. Here's what I'm going to say. We're going to teach you a lot of stuff today. And the only way that we're going to teach you a lot of stuff today, and the only way that we're going to know, I love your outfit, I feel underdressed. The only way that we're going to know if what we teach you today resonates and makes sense to the level that you can actually use it is by the volume at which you respond. If your volume is low or non-existent, it sends a message to mine and Ross's brain to say, maybe we didn't teach that very well, maybe we need to teach that again. And if we do that with every point, we'll be here till bloody midnight, right? But joking aside, when we run these events, you may have heard the saying, you heard the saying, knowledge is power? You heard that saying, isn't it? Yes. It's not true. It's only powerful if you use it, right? Like my mum ran a gym for 20 years. She'd say everybody knows what to do to get in shape. I'm not looking at you for any reason when I say that, my lord. So why does he look at me when he says that? Everybody knows what to do to get in shape, but not everybody's in shape. Why? Because the common sense isn't always common practice. So the only way that we're going to know if what we teach you today resonates to the level that you actually go away and use it, and this isn't just another one of those seminars which was boring as hell, and you didn't learn anything from, and you didn't implement, is by the volume of which you respond. We're not miracle workers, team. You're going to get out of this event today what you put in. So with that said, team, can we test the volume of it, yes or no? Yes or no, team? Yes! Thank you. So, what are we here to do today? What are we here to learn about? Well, here's what I see right now is your biggest problem. In your business, not your life, don't worry, it ain't a therapy session, all right? Just so you know. Right now, not enough people know you exist. If everyone in your industry, radius, town, sector, city, space knew you existed, well, you'd have all the clients you could ever possibly want and need. So the number one thing that we've got to fix today is getting you more attention. That's number one. Now, 30 years ago, you needed TV, radio, and newspapers to get your message out, which meant it was impossible for mere mortals like us to play the game. But now with the emergence of YouTube and Facebook and social media, it now means everybody can play. Here's the problem though. Everybody is playing, aren't they? You go on a social media platform today and everybody is talking about what they do and how they can help. It's crowded, it's noisy. And the great news for you is, would you like some great news? Yes or no, team? Yes! Thank you. You're getting it now. The great news is, the way that most people are communicating what they do isn't very good. And the great news for you is that when your message is well crafted and you're really eloquent, you will really stand out. So good morning everybody, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Statham Grant, I'm one of your coaches here today. I'm the UK's #1 high performance coach. I've done events on behalf of Tony Robbins. Anybody heard of Tony Robbins? Some of you in the room, I'll explain who he is later, those of you that don't know. I've had clients ranging from Shelby Spa, Easy Gym. I've had clients that have been in X Factor movies like The Matrix. Done over £2 million using social media, and I tell you that not to impress you, but to impress upon you that I found that when you know how, social media is very simple. Notice I said simple, not easy, right? I'm going to use the fitness analogy a lot today. I hope that's all right, because I'm not running a gym. Fitness isn't easy, is it? No, but it is simple. Yeah. Will it help you if today was simple? Yes or no, team? Yeah. So we're going to make sure today is simple. Now, before we get into the main session, there's a few key points that I want to share with you. Points that you will have heard before, but I've invested probably £80,000 in mentors over the past decade, and I've learned that there is some key differences between the successful entrepreneurs with social media and the ones that are unsuccessful. And these points, you've heard them before, your ego is going to want to say, this is new information, teach me something new. I can't hold a candle to the motivational speakers that you listen to on YouTube. But the key thing is this, common sense isn't always common practice. So the question you want to ask yourself is not whether you've heard these points that Miles has said before, you want to ask yourself, am I actually doing what Miles has said? Do you understand the difference? Yes or no, team? Yeah. Just want to get that out of the way. So, first key difference between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful entrepreneurs is successful entrepreneurs are really clear about what their outcome is for being here at this event today. Let me explain. Rookie entrepreneurs would come to an event like this, and if you asked them what they were here for, they would say something like, I'm just here to learn a bit about social media. And they may even have the shrug of the shoulders in there as well. Successful entrepreneurs wouldn't say that. Here's what a successful entrepreneur would say. I'm here to learn more about social media because I want to learn how to insert something like this, learn how to systemize and scale my business so that it can increase the revenue and the profitability of the business, so that I can earn more in less time, so I can spend more time with my kids or the people that I love. Some version of that. Does that make sense? You see the difference? Yes or no, Tim? Yeah. So you want to be really clear about this thing. You're not really here for social media, you're here for what it can do for you. And the reason I've started with that is because the reason on the board it says outcome GPS. If you think about it, all the sat-nav is a tool to get you from A to B without having to think about how to get from A to B. And isn't it true, team, that if you put one element in a sat-nav wrong, it can send you in a completely different direction? Yes or no, team? Yes. So you need to be clear about what it is from this event and in your business that you really, really, really want. Sound like a Spice Girl, doesn't it? So what that means is, well, Tony Robbins has got a saying for this. He says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Let me explain what that means, so that it's not just a throwaway motivational quote. If you master social media, and it gives you all the leads you can ever possibly imagine, but that doesn't turn into revenue and sales, is that real success, yes or no? No. Let's imagine that it turns into leads, into revenue, into sales, but that doesn't translate into profit. Is that real success, yes or no, team? No. Let's imagine that it turns into revenue, into leads, into sales, into profit, but now the people that you love are now complaining that they don't see you anymore. Is that real success, yes or no, team? No. Or the doctor starts telling you that, you know, the pain that you're feeling in your chest is because you're working so hard. You're stressed, yeah. That business that you dreamed of is now causing you heart palpitations. Is that not real success? So when Tony says success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, he means, be really clear, you're not here for social media, you're here for what it can do for you. Or as a mentor said to me years ago, he said, Miles, what you sow you can. I said, what do you mean? He said, what do you want social media to do for you? The reason I start with that is because someone challenged me on it years ago. And because of the way that he asked the question, I went, okay, you want to know the real answer? It goes back to my childhood. See, I was raised by my mum on a council estate in Birmingham. My dad and my mum broke up when I was very young, before I was born. And my mum at any given time worked 3 jobs. So my mum didn't get to come to school play, she didn't get to come and watch me play football, she was always working. Now as a kid, naively as a kid, I assumed if your mum's got 3 jobs, financially you're probably doing all right. I think all of you in the room would be not naive enough to realise that's obviously not the case. We probably ran out of pay-as-you-go electric tokens at least once a week. We were broke. So as a kid growing up, I said, I want 2 things when I'm older. I want time freedom and financial freedom. Because here's what I believe. You can always make more money, you can't make more time. Anybody in the room that's lost somebody that they love knows a thing or two about that. So remember this thing. You're not here for social media. You're here for what it can do for you. Be really clear about that. That's the first point. Second point. Let's assume that we know what we want. We're very, very, very clear about that now. Second thing that we need is we now need to know, okay, well, how are we going to get to where we want to get to? I call this the marketing recipe. Think about it like this. All the recipe is, fundamentally, is a list of ingredients and an order and a sequence in which to mix those ingredients. If you mix the ingredients in the right order, you get the right result. If you mix the ingredients in the wrong order, you get my wife's banana bread, and that's a story for another day. That joke was a lot funnier in my head than it was out loud. You think I'll laugh at any of these shit jokes today? Just keep going, yeah? Thanks, man. I know you'll. I know I'm going. Here's the thing, Tim. When it comes to social media, you know what you know what you don't know, but you don't know what you don't know. There's a mouthful for you on a Thursday morning, right? What does that mean? Well, here's a breakthrough thought for you straight away. Those of you that drive, you'll get the analogy. Those of you that don't drive, you'll still get the analogy, right? When you learned to drive, did you have to get an instructor, yes or no, T? Yes. When you learned social media for the first time, did you have to get an instructor, yes or no, T? No, so for many of you in the room, here's a breakthrough thought. The reason you haven't figured it out yet is because you've not had an instructor. You've not actually had somebody teach you what to do. And just so you know, trying to figure it out for yourself, totally understandable. Why would you get an instructor if you don't have to? And just so you know, trying to figure it out for yourself, that used to be me. Not that long ago, I'm posting on social media every single day. Stories, reels, everything. And getting nowhere fast. And I'm like, there's got to be a better way. Then I went to an event. This was in Nottingham. There was a guy on stage, similar to this, social media event. Guy on stage called Chris Black. He's a good friend now, called him Coach Chris. Coach Chris clearly knew the recipe of social media. And at that free event, there was an opportunity to invest in further mentoring and help from Coach Chris. Of course there was an opportunity to invest in further mentoring and help. It was a free event. I wasn't naive enough to think that would be the case. And I had a decision to make that day. Do I invest in the help and support that's being offered? Or do I keep figuring everything out for myself? Truth be told, first response, I'm going to keep figuring everything out for myself. You want to know why that was my first response? It goes back to my childhood. You see, my mum, her worldly advice to me as a kid growing up, with my dad leaving, was, Miles, don't rely on other people, because your dad left. Figure everything out for yourself. Which is good advice, because it made me very, very independent. But it also made me very, very guarded to help and support when it was being offered. Just so you know, team, not everybody's out to get you. Just say no. So after checking in with my intuition, here's a clue to my next point. I believe you've got always knows what's right for you. I went to the back of the room. I enrolled in Coach Chris's social media training. £1,000 investment that day. Turned into £464,000 within 18 months. Good investment, good decision, yes or no, team?
Yes.
Absolutely. Great news is, we're going to teach you the recipe today. Would that be helpful, yes or no, team?
Yes.
Good, very good. So, now we've got two things that differentiate successful from unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Now we're really clear about what it is we want. We're not here for social media, we're here for what it can do for us. Now we know that there is a recipe to get there. And now what we need to know, now what we know is we maybe perhaps need an instructor to teach us how to go from where we are to where we want to be. The next thing that we need is we need to actually use the information that we've got. Because if we don't, it's just, what do they call it? Self-development, shelf-development, right? So we've now got to take action, but not any old action, we've got to take what I call gut action. Let me explain what I mean by that. Here's what I believe. I believe your intuition, your gut, always knows what's right for you. Many of you in this room may have had the experience of your intuition telling you not to do something, and you did it, and on reflection there might have been a little bit of, I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe the inverse, where you had an experience where you didn't do something, and on reflection you wish you did. Like, a few years ago I was in Las Vegas for a work thing. It sounds more glamorous than it actually was. My wife was adamant it was a holiday. It wasn't a holiday. It was maybe a little bit of a holiday, right? Anyway, the evening of, there was a drinks reception. And I went out and I stayed out late. The morning after, there was an opportunity to go with a group to the Grand Canyon to do a skydive, and I'd never skydived before. I stayed up late, I missed the bus, I missed the opportunity to go on the skydive. Now, I have since skydived, but it was over Middlesbrough. No offence if you're from Middlesbrough, right? But it ain't the Grand Canyon. My point is this. There's a little tiny bit of me that has a regret that I didn't get my first ever skydive in the Grand Canyon. So here's what I'm trying to say. My point is this. Rookie entrepreneurs hear what their intuition tells them to do, but they don't act on it. Whereas successful entrepreneurs hear what their intuition tells them to do, and they do act on it. That's the difference. And the reason why the rookie entrepreneurs don't act on their intuition is because the brain doesn't know the difference between rational fear and irrational fear. Let me explain. Rational fear is you're in a zoo and you hear a zookeeper shout and run. What do, team? Run. Some of you just got eaten by a lion, but never mind. Thank you for participation, right? Irrational fear is, yeah, I was thinking about doing a Facebook Live, but I'm in the middle of a town centre, and what will people think of me if they see me go live on Instagram? Now, I'm not mocking you if you have a fear of going live on a social media platform. That's not a joke. The point is, do you understand that there's a difference between rational fear and irrational fear? Yes or no, T?
Yes.
100%, yeah? But here's the thing, the brain doesn't know the difference. We all have an innate fear that we're going to die. We all have an innate fear that we're not enough. We all have an innate fear that we won't be loved, that we'll be rejected. That's an innate fear. If you don't like the idea of being seen and putting yourself out there, that's a real fear, because the brain doesn't know the difference between real fear, life and death, and doing a Facebook Live. So I'm not laughing and mocking at those of you that maybe have that fear. It's a real fear. So how do we overcome this rational, irrational conundrum? How do we do it? Well, Mel Robbins has a book on this. It's called 5 Second Rule. You heard of that book? Some of you, maybe? If you haven't read it or heard of it, I'll give you the book in like 10 seconds. Mel Robbins basically says that next time your intuition tells you to do something, here's how long you've got to decide and to take action. If you don't take action within 5 seconds, like Your brain, your intuition's telling you, go now, go now, go now, do it now. If you don't act within 5 seconds, your brain kicks in and says, now's not the right time, I'm not ready yet. I need to think about it more. I need to learn more first. I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. Yeah, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work out? All of that is the brain trying to keep you safe. This is the biggest, most annoying cliche in the world. You want to throw your shoe because this is so freaking basic and you've heard it a million times. This business that you want, it's not going to come from you staying in your comfort zone. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. Do you understand that? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
So the difference between successful entrepreneurs and unsuccessful is successful entrepreneurs just take more action than you.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Exactly. Another great book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers. It's an easy cliche book title, but in reality, rookie entrepreneurs don't feel the fear and do it anyway. They feel the fear and they listen to the brain, they're like, now's not the right time, I'm not ready yet. So you've got to act fast when your intuition tells you, or you stay stuck. Even though I'd had that positive experience with Coach Chris, I was at another event a few years later. This time it's called the National Achievers Congress, 2,000 people in the room. And there's a guy on stage called Coach Andy. Coach Andy's talking about when you learn how to present, when you learn how to speak, you can help more people, earn more money in a lot less time. I was like, that sounds good. Here's why. Even though my business with Coach, even though what I learned from Coach Chris was good, 464,000 in 18 months, I actually didn't have a great business. Let me explain. I was on a day rate of £3,000 a day. Maybe for some of you that sounds good. The problem is I was exchanging time for money. So all I really had was a glorified version of my mum working 3 jobs on a council estate. Earning more, but I had no time. I was travelling all over the country to earn those day rates. So it sounded good, it wasn't good. And Coach Andy's talking about how you can earn more, help more people in a lot less time. I was like, that sounds good. And there was an opportunity that day to invest in Coach Andy's training. Obviously there wasn't a free event, right? £3,000 investment. My intuition says, now's not the right time, I'm not ready yet. Sorry, my brain says, now's not the right time, I'm not ready yet. But my intuition said, that's what you need next. Thankfully, I listened to my intuition, went to the back of the room that day, £3,000 investment, turned into £2 million in sales so far. Was that a good investment, a good decision? Yes or no? Absolutely. Now that, thank you. Now that changed my life. Why? Because it gave me time. But it didn't just change my life. You see, I have 2 kids. One of my kids is Sage. Sage is 6. And Sage was recently at school, and her teacher, Mrs. O'Kane, said to the class, children, who help me with the next part of the presentation? Who'd be willing to come up here and help me present the next part of the presentation? Now I tell myself that Sage got up in 5 seconds because it sounds good as a story from stage, right? Either way, Sage got up, she helped Mrs. O'Kane with the presentation. She sat back down, she got a standing ovation from the other kids in the class. After school, scootering home, I said, Sage, how did you have the courage to do that? And in a really blasé way, she looked at me and she went, well, that's what you do, isn't it, Dad? The moral of the story is this. If you're not going to fulfill your true potential for you, do it for the people that you love. You've got to start taking more action in spite of fear, and know that fear is a good sign. Now, here's a couple of ways that it's easier for you to take more action in spite of fear. 2 ways. Number 1, spend more time in environments with people that are doing it too. Look around this room for a minute. Just look around this room for a minute. Don't look at anybody too long that you freak them out. Here's what you need to know about this room team. This room, just going to get my bottle of water. This room is what I call a judgment-free zone. Here's what that means. Out there in the muggle world, people will judge you for going for your dream. But not in here. You see, in here, isn't it true, team, that every single one of you in here, although you're independent, different, unique, every single one of you in this room wants to take your life and or your business to the next level. Am I right? Yes or no, team?
Yes!
So you want to spend more time in environments like this. But here's what you also need to do. You also need to start spending time with people that are more successful than you. Everybody in this room heard of Usain Bolt? Heard of Usain Bolt? Yeah, the running, yeah. Great documentary on Usain Bolt. When he was 14 years old, he was the fastest 14-year-old in Jamaica. And his trainer got him the late to go to the Olympic Stadium in Kingston to race against the then men's team that were getting ready for the next Olympics. Little Usain's in lane 8, the gun goes off. Usain runs to the finish line, dead last. Usain Bolt gets back on the bus, sits in the back of the bus, and he's sulking. Why is he sulking? Because he was last, because he's used to winning. And his trainer turns around and looks at him. And I'm not going to do the trainer's accent because my granddad from Jamaica will turn in his grave. The trainer turns around and looks at him and says, Usain, that's why we need to stop you racing against boys and get you to start racing against men. For some of you in the room, if you're the smartest person in your peer group, you're in the wrong peer group. Jim Rohn says, who you spend time with is who you become. Miles says, if you spend time with 5 really, really successful people, you will become the 6th. But if you spend time with 5 whining, negative, complaining idiots, you'll become the 6th away. Absolutely. Spot on. Yeah. Who you spend time with is who you become too. Now, here's another key thing I've learned. Spending time with people that are more successful than you, one of the things you want to consider doing if you're not doing it already in business is getting yourself someone like a mentor. Raise your hand if you've heard of Adam Stock, by the way. Okay, some of you, okay? So Adam is the founder of Big Business Entrepreneurs. And Adam, for those of you that don't know, incredibly successful business owner, 8-figure business owner. Adam has shared the stage with Anthony Joshua, Al Pacino, Floyd Mayweather. Adam has been on Rich House, Poor House, which is a show on Netflix, which you can check out on Netflix. Best-selling author, incredible entrepreneur. After initially being annoyed by the fact that Adam is the same age as me and is considerably more successful, after getting over myself, I realised if I spent more time with Ad, he may rub off on me. Not in that way, that sounds weird. One of the things Adam's really good at is planning. Do you think if you planned like an 8-figure business owner, you might get some more success in your business? Yes or no, Tim?
Yes.
Absolutely. So one of the things that Adam is really, really good at is planning. Now, team, we're going to be here all day. Is it all right if we use the F word today? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I mean fun, by the way. I'm a Christian. I was baptized last year, so I mean fun. So I want to have some fun with you. So I wonder if you can, turn around and face me at the back of the room. I've just given you a whole spiel about gut action, 5-second rule, follow your intuition, this is a judgment-free zone. Based on that, what is your gut or intuition telling you to do right now? As I dangle this planner, what is your intuition telling you to do?
Grab it! Whoever's closest, come on!
Give a round of applause. Isn't that hard? Really? Did you not understand what I was trying to say? Give a round of applause! Team, what just happened? Somebody took action. What did everybody else do? Watch. Thought about taking action. Here's what you need to know, team. You get in life the opportunities that you take, not the opportunities that are handed to you. Right? One of the things we really want to do today is I want to start to build your confidence in taking action without thinking. Because if you don't do it here, it will be harder out there. No one's going to judge you in here if you run and grab a planner. Because actually you'll be admired. Because everyone in here now will think, oh wow, look at that person having the courage to grab the planner. And somebody over from this side of the room or this side of the room, you thought, I can't do that. People, I'm in the middle rows, people will judge me. But if you've got, I can't run and grab it. But if you did run and managed to grab it, people would admire you. I know this from experience because I remember being at an event where they did this on me, and I was in the middle rows at the front, and I ran to the back and got it. And at the first break, everybody wanted to talk to me, and I didn't understand why. And then on reflection, I know why. It's because people that take action like that without thinking are admired. And here's what you also need to know in this room. Whether you're selling a product or a service or whatever it is in this room, you need to know this. People buy people. So many of you in this room, you need to start projecting more energy in what you do. And know that the more energy that you put in, the more people that you're going to attract to you. Because people buy people. So, team, let's try that one more time. What if you can, face the back of the room, you'll see Coach Tash. Oh, Coach Tash, what have you got in your hand there? Very good, very good. Give me a round of applause. Team! all right to make some fun today? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Take your business seriously, but you don't have to take yourself seriously, right? So we're going to have fun today. Here's what's really important. Tony Robbins is always banging on about state. Make sure you're in the right state. State means three things. Your physiology, how you use your physical body, the energy that you have. Anybody that works out on a regular basis knows a thing or two about managing your physiology. Second part of state is your focus. Are you glass half full or are you glass half empty? One person might consider rain miserable weather, but yet on the other side of the world, it's the solution to a drought. It's about perspective. It's about meaning. Language. When you talk to yourself, internally or externally, are you speaking positively or negatively? The words that you say internally or externally make a difference. It's like if you have bad food in the fridge, don't expect to get in great shape. So the words that you say, it happens exactly the same way. So your state is really key. Here's what you need to know. Here's the thing. Rookie entrepreneurs, they come to a free event like this, and this is the energy, I've seen it thousands of times, this is the energy of a rookie entrepreneur at an event like this. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not making any eye contact. I'm not making any notes. I'm here to prove that I'm right. I'm not going to engage with his shit jokes. I'm not having any fun. I'm serious. I'm a serious entrepreneur and I'm going to be serious today. Just so you know, if that's you, I get it, you're sussing us out. Some people out there I said hello to this morning and they're like, hello back. Some people are like, whatever, mate. I get it, you're sussing us out. We've just met, we're sussing you out too. But here's what you need to know, team. You're going to get out of this event when you put in, we're not miracle workers. Right? If somebody went to my mum's gym for a free trial for the very first time, and my mum said, right, we're going to start you off on a cross trainer. And they went, no, not doing it. My mum would be like, this free trial is not going to go very far. So you're going to get out of this event today what you put in. You've all invested time, energy, effort, and money to be here today. But now you're here, that doesn't mean you're here. Now you're here, you've got to be all in. VIPs, you financially invested to be part of VIP. VIP, give me a whoop! That was pretty good, considering I haven't rehearsed it. That was pretty good. But you have, and by the way, those of you not in VIP don't even know what that is. There's a few more spaces available for VIP. We'll tell you about that in the first break. But you have all invested to be here today. But now you're here, be all in. I went to an event recently in Miami, and it was £3,000 for the ticket. That's why it says £3,000 on the board. How do you think I showed up for that event, Tim? You shout out for me. Energetic, engaged, ready. What's that?
Someone paid for your ticket.
No, they didn't, but yeah, I'm confused now. How do you think I paid £3,000 for the ticket, Tim? How do you think I showed up? Enthusiastic, motivated. So if this was a £3,000 event, social media monetization with myself and Coach Ross today, how would you show up knowing that you paid £3,000 out of your bank account, you paid for it, to be here today? How would you show up?
Ready to go.
Ready to go? Enthusiastic?
High expectations.
High expectations, very good.
Passionate.
Passionate, very good. So here's what... What's that?
I wouldn't have paid and shown up because it's in their reality.
It's a theoretical question. Pretend, right? Remember when we were kids and we pretend? Pretend you threw £3,000 to be here. Anyway, the point is this, Steve. The point is this. Isn't it true, Steve, that in life we tend to value things more that we pay for than things that are free? Tend to. Not always, but tend to. Yes or no, Steve?
Yeah.
So here's what we need to do. Act today like you paid to be here today. Act like you paid £3,000 to be here today, and you'll get £3,000 worth of value. One of my mentors said to me many years ago, he said, in fact, write this down. He said, Miles, don't write Miles, that's not your name. He said, treat your business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. He said, treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you treat this event like a free event, then it will reward you so. If you treat it like you paid to be here today, it will reward you so. Just so you know, every single one of the sessions that we teach you today is an ingredient of the recipe. Spoke earlier about recipe. So for you to get the full recipe, you have to be here for the full day. This morning we're going to be teaching you the fundamentals of creating a social media fortune. We're going to be teaching you how to become in the top 1% of marketers. After a break, we're going to be teaching you how to win the game of social media monetization. After lunch, VIPs, you're going to stay in the room. We're going to feed you. We're going to answer all your questions. After lunch, we're going to teach you how to build your brand. Here's the thing. Rookie entrepreneurs think building a brand is this. Yeah, I've got my logo sorted. I've got my colour palette sorted on Canva, and I've got a really good website. That's not brand. Here's what brand is. It's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Team, do McDonald's do the best burgers in the world, yes or no?
Wendy's.
Five guys. Sorry, vegans. I'm sorry. Here's the thing though. Are McDonald's the best known burger in the world, yes or no? Absolutely. Your job is this, write this down. Best known beats best. Write that down. Best known beats best. Your job is to be best known. Now, just to answer that question, that doesn't mean dilute the quality of what you do. But what that means is your job is to be best known. Why? Because best known beats best. When I say running shoe, you said Nike. You want to be the first business or brand or product or service that people think of. What we're going to teach you this afternoon is how to stand out and be number one in your business and space, so you can charge whatever you're worth, and so people come towards you, you don't have to go chase them anymore. Raise your hands if that sounds good. We're going to teach you how to do that in the branding session after lunch. And then the final session is called Dynamic Presenting. Best way for me to sum this up, let me ask you the question. Raise your hand whether you like selling or not. Raise your hand if you'd love to sell more without doing any selling whatsoever. Raise your hand if you would. Then in the final session called Dynamic Presenting, we're going to teach you how to sell more without doing any selling. We finish today at 5:30. Now, before we begin, I just want to play you this quick intro video.
Meet Ross Temple, the inspirational head coach at Big Business Events, the UK's fastest growing business coaching company.
You should always be asking yourself, what is next? It's the mentality you need to be. How you change is how you succeed. If you don't have somewhere, you will go nowhere.
With his expert guidance, thousands of entrepreneurs and business owners have been able to build the business of their dreams and go on to achieve their life goals. Less than 10 years ago, he was the head of business development at a multinational timber merchant. A great achievement, but real